Now, this is something that I found pretty interesting. And take a look at your screen. What we're looking at right now is the Witley Wonder Underwater Ballroom, okay? So when I was doing my research and I said, is it possible to build a dome underwater and actually sustain life? I came across this and it's like, oh shit, yes. Now, mind you, this dome isn't so big, but it's possible. And this was something up until a few years ago, you and I could have actually visited. Now I believe it's closed off. I'm not sure how you would get access, but let's take a look. So Witley Park, formerly known as Leigh Park, is an estate dating from the 19th century in England. Its landscape grounds include 3 artificial lakes, one of which conceals a remarkable underwater conservatory and smoking room. In 1890, the noted swindler Whitaker Wright purchased Leigh Park and the adjacent South Park Farm from the Earl of Derby. Wright developed the pre-existing house into a 32-bedroom mansion adjacent to one of the 3 artificial lakes and within the landscape grounds. Underneath an adjacent lake, Wright built an underwater conservatory and smoking room with aquarium windows and a statue. All right, so this is pretty cool. And I'm doing my best because I'm really excited about this, not to jump ahead. But let me just ask you for a second. Or just think about anybody. If you wanted to do something and you were rich, you had to be rich. Not even rich. You would have to have the means and the access to certain resources. You don't have to be rich. And you wanted to do something out of the view of the public. You wanted to do something and you didn't want anybody to ever discover what you were doing. Wouldn't putting your experiment underwater make a lot of sense? If people walk out of your house and they just see a beautiful lake, no one would ever think that you actually built a room under the lake to do whatever it is that you want. So many people didn't even know that this was there until the property was sold and someone had to rediscover it. But I think that's just think about it. How would you keep a science experiment that may not been morally or ethical to the people of that time or ever? How do you keep it concealed? I think putting it underwater is a really clever way, but